What if the greatest defense against one of life's most feared events wasn't found in a pill bottle, but in the quiet, steady rhythm of your own body?
Martha had always believed that a garden tells the truth about life. It doesn't care about your past glories or your future fears. It only asks what you are willing to give it today. For 40 years, this small plot of earth behind her Ohio home had been her sanctuary, her canvas, her gym, and her church. It's where she'd taught her son to pat the soil over seeds, and where she'd found solace after her husband, David, passed. Her pride was not just in the riot of color that erupted each spring, but in the strength of her own 2 hands, the endurance in her legs that allowed her to kneel, to rise, to carry, to create. Lately, however, a new, unwelcome truth had begun to sprout in the garden of her own body. It began as a whisperer, fleeting dizziness when she stood up too quickly, a strange leaden feeling in her calves on her morning walks with her beagle. Rusty, she'd started choosing the flat, predictable sidewalks of her neighborhood over the winding, uneven dirt paths in the park they both used to love. The risk of a stumble, once a trivial thought, now loomed like a shadow. This was the silent, creeping fear of a stroke. It wasn't a diagnosis yet, but it was a constant, low hum of anxiety, stealing the simple, physical joys that had defined her. She was Martha, the woman who could spend 6 hours on her feet canning tomatoes, the grandma who would get right down on the floor to build elaborate Lego castles, the friend who was always first to offer to help someone move a heavy piece of furniture. But that version of herself felt like a photograph from a different era. The fear was a thief. It whispered that getting on the floor might mean not being able to get back up. It suggested that a long walk might end in a moment of terrifying weakness. It argued that her body, once a source of endless strength, was now a liability. Each small concession felt like a surrender. Every choice, guided by fear, was another brick in the wall that was slowly, methodically shrinking her world. The vibrant, sprawling garden of her life was being hemmed in, path by path, until she feared all that would be left was the armchair in her living room. Her internal voice is quiet, almost a whisper. Is this how it ends? Will I become a spectator in my own life, too afraid to live it? The fear wasn't just of a stroke itself, but of the life it would leave behind, a life of dependence, of being a burden, of watching the world from behind a window. She looked at that stubborn weed, a survivor. It hadn't asked for permission. It hadn't waited for perfect conditions. It had simply pushed, and in that moment, a quiet, forgotten strength pushed back inside of her. The thought wasn't a lightning bolt, but a slow, steady dawn. My garden taught me that anything worth having requires effort. Why would my own health be any different? It didn't happen overnight. It started with a simple decision to move, just a little, right there in her living room. Then, a walk to the end of the block. Then, a walk around it. Each day, she was planting a new seed of strength, tending to the garden of her own body. She was reclaiming the moments the fear had stolen. The joy wasn't in becoming the woman from the old photograph again. It was in becoming the woman she was now, strong and capable in a new, wiser way.
Martha's story is a powerful reminder that our path forward after 50 isn't about avoiding life. It's about building a body that's resilient enough to live it fully. Her enemy wasn't just a health risk. It was the fear that this risk had to define her future. But what if I told you that the specific, simple movements she rediscovered are backed by incredible science? What if the common advice to just get some exercise is missing the most critical details? We're often told to do complex, intense workouts, but the truth is, the most profound changes often come from the simplest, most consistent efforts. Today, we are going to walk through 10 specific, science-backed exercises that can fundamentally lower your stroke risk. We'll start with the foundational habits and build our way up step by step to the most overlooked and powerful strategies. And you absolutely must stay with me to the end. Because our final secret of the day is a technique so simple, yet so potent, that studies show it can begin to improve blood vessel function in just 2 weeks. It's something most people have never even heard of. Before we dive in, if you want more practical, research-backed health strategies for living a strong, vibrant life after 50, take a moment to subscribe and turn on the bell. Every week, we bring you new ways to keep your body young and your mind sharp. And please take a moment to type your age and your city in the comments below. It is so inspiring to see how far this message of health and empowerment is reaching. Just a quick, important reminder. All the information shared today is for educational purposes. Everyone's health situation is unique, so please consult your doctor or healthcare provider before making any significant changes to your exercise regimen, especially if you have pre-existing conditions. Let's use this knowledge to have informed discussions with them. All right, let's begin building our foundation for a stroke-resistant life. Essential habit number 10, seated or standing marches. Let's start with a movement that is accessible to absolutely everyone right now. You can even do it while watching this video. It's the simple act of marching in place, and it's a perfect gateway to better circulation. The problem for many of us, especially if we're dealing with knee pain, arthritis, or balance concerns, is that traditional cardio can feel intimidating or even impossible. The fear of falling or aggravating joint pain is real, and it can lead to a dangerous cycle of inactivity, where our circulation becomes more and more sluggish. But here's the thing. Your body doesn't need a high-impact jolt to get the benefits of movement. It needs consistency. Think of your circulatory system like a network of rivers and streams. When you sit for long periods, those streams become slow and stagnant, allowing debris to settle. This is especially true in the lower legs, where blood can pool and increase the risk of clots, a major cause of ischemic strokes. Therefore, we need a way to gently stir those waters without causing a flood. Seated or standing marches are the perfect solution. As Dr. Jonathan F. Bean, a rehabilitation specialist at Harvard, has noted, this simple motion is a fantastic way to gently raise the heart rate and improve that lower body circulation while keeping the joints completely safe. Here's a way to visualize it. Imagine your leg muscles are like a second heart. Every time you contract your calf, thigh, and glute muscles by lifting your knee, you are physically squeezing the veins in your legs. This action works like a pump, pushing the old deoxygenated blood back up towards your heart and lungs to be refreshed. Seated marches are like giving that second heart a gentle rhythmic workout, ensuring the current in your body's rivers keeps flowing smoothly. How to do it? While sitting tall in a chair or standing and holding onto something sturdy, simply lift one knee up toward your chest, then lower it back down with control. Then, switch to the other leg. Find a steady rhythm and continue for 2 to 3 minutes. As you get stronger, you can increase the duration. For an extra boost, add some gentle arm swings to engage the upper body and elevate the cardiovascular benefit even more. Essential habit number 9, resistance band leg press. Now that we've got the blood flowing, let's talk about building strength, specifically in our legs. Many people don't realize there's a direct link between weak leg muscles and an increased risk of stroke. It sounds disconnected, but the science is clear. The conflict here is sarcopenia, the natural age-related loss of muscle mass. It creeps up on us, making our legs feel weaker and less reliable. This weakness puts a much greater strain on our heart. When your leg muscles are weak, your heart has to work overtime to pump blood all the way down to your toes and back up again. Over years, this added strain can contribute to high blood pressure and other cardiovascular issues that are primary risk factors for stroke. But what can you do if high-impact exercises like squats or lunges are painful for your knees or hips? This is where the tension lies for so many of us. We know we need to be strong, but the very exercises meant to build strength seem to cause pain. The solution is to build muscle without the load. The resistance band leg press is a game changer. According to research in journals like The Lancet Neurology, maintaining strong lower body muscles directly correlates with improved vascular health. This exercise allows you to do just that while sitting comfortably in a chair. To understand why this is so effective, let's use an analogy. Imagine your heart is the main water pump for a tall building. If the building has no smaller booster pumps on the lower floors, strong leg muscles, the main pump at the top has to work incredibly hard to get water to every floor and then back. It's inefficient and wears out the main pump. But by building strong leg muscles with resistance bands, you're installing powerful booster pumps on every floor. They assist the main pump, making the entire system more efficient, reducing the strain on your heart and promoting healthy circulation that prevents the pooling of blood. Now, when it comes to an activity like this, it's especially important for us to approach it with awareness. If you're new to resistance training, please remember to start gently with a light band and listen to your body. Our goal here is empowerment through knowledge, so you can make the best choices for your unique situation. How to do it? While seated in a sturdy chair, loop a resistance band around one foot. Hold the other ends of the band in your hands. Start with your knee bent, and then slowly press your foot forward, extending your leg against the band's resistance. Hold for a moment, and then slowly return to the starting position. Do 10-15 repetitions on one leg, then switch. Foundational strategy number 8, brisk walking. We now move from movements you can do in a chair to one of the most studied and effective exercises on the planet, simple walking. The hook here is a stunning statistic that many people find hard to believe. What if I told you that this one activity could lower your stroke risk by as much as 40%? It seems too simple to be true. We're constantly bombarded with messages about extreme fitness, but the research is overwhelmingly in favor of walking. A 2023 study in the Journal of Stroke and Cerebrovascular Diseases confirmed this finding that adults over 50 who walked briskly for at least 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, had a staggering 43% lower risk of stroke. The problem is that we often dismiss walking as not real exercise. We think we need to be sweating, breathless, and sore for it to count. This misconception is perhaps one of the biggest barriers to better health for millions of people. But the science tells a different story. Brisk walking directly targets something called endothelial function. Let's use an analogy to understand this. Think of your blood vessels, all 60,000 miles of them, as a system of sophisticated, flexible garden hoses. The endothelium is the delicate inner lining of those hoses. In an unhealthy state, that lining becomes stiff and brittle, like an old, sun-baked hose, making it prone to cracks, inflammation, and blockages. Brisk walking, however, is like regularly running a special conditioning fluid through those hoses. It stimulates the release of nitric oxide, which tells the lining to relax and become more elastic and pliable. This keeps them healthy, preventing the buildup that leads to stroke. Therefore, this simple act is one of the most profound medicines for your blood vessels. It's also proven to lower systolic blood pressure by an average of 4 to 9 millimeters of mercury, an amount significant enough to cut stroke risk by nearly a third. Now, as this involves a new exercise routine for some, remember to start gently. Our goal is consistent, gentle progress. It's wise to discuss any significant changes with your doctor, especially if you have ongoing health considerations. How to do it safely. Start with just 10 minutes at a pace where you can still talk, but you couldn't easily sing. Wear supportive shoes and choose even ground to protect your joints. A fantastic tip is to take a 10-minute walk after each meal. This not only helps you reach your daily goal, but also helps control your blood sugar, another key risk factor for stroke. Foundational strategy number 7, cycling. Let's build on the idea of low-impact cardio with another fantastic option for protecting your heart and brain, cycling. The main challenge cycling solves is the high-impact stress that other forms of cardio, like running, can place on our joints. For many people over 60, the enthusiasm for exercise is there, but the knees, hips, and ankles simply say no to pounding the pavement. This can lead to frustration and ultimately a return to inactivity. But cardiovascular health is non-negotiable for stroke prevention. We need to find sustainable ways to elevate our heart rate and improve our body's use of oxygen. A 2021 study published in the renowned journal Circulation found that regular cycling significantly improves blood lipid profiles and reduces arterial stiffness, two key factors in lowering stroke risk. So, how does it work? Let's imagine your body's oxygen delivery system is like a postal service. The VO2 max, which is your body's maximum oxygen uptake, is a measure of how efficiently that postal service can deliver packages, oxygen, to all the houses, your cells. A slow, inefficient postal service means packages get delayed and things grind to a halt. A high VO2 max, however, means you have a super-efficient delivery network. Cycling is one of the best ways to train and improve this system. It promotes leg muscle endurance, which supports venous return, the process of getting blood back to the heart, and makes your entire cardiovascular system more resilient. Therefore, by choosing cycling, you are giving yourself a powerful cardio workout without the joint-punishing downside. For beginners, a stationary recumbent bike is an amazing tool. It offers full back support and incredible stability, removing any concerns about balance while you build up your strength and endurance. How to do it safely. If you're using a stationary bike, start with just 10 minutes at a moderate pace, where you feel your heart rate rise but can still hold a conversation. For outdoor cycling, always wear a helmet and choose safe, low-traffic routes. The key, as always, is to start slow and gradually increase your time and intensity as you feel more comfortable. Key insight number 6, swimming or water aerobics. Now, for those who need the ultimate joint-friendly workout, we turn to the magic of water. Swimming or water aerobics is a hidden gem for cardiovascular health after 50. The problem with land-based exercise, even gentle forms, is that we are always fighting against gravity. This constant compressive force can be a major barrier for anyone with arthritis, osteoporosis, or chronic joint pain. The very act of moving can be painful, creating a huge obstacle to getting the heart-pumping exercise we so desperately need. But what if you could essentially turn down the gravity? That's exactly what happens when you get in the water. The natural buoyancy of water supports your body, removing the stress from your joints while still providing resistance to challenge your muscles. As Dr. Bruce Becker, a physician and aquatic therapy researcher, found, exercising in water doesn't just strengthen the heart, it also improves vascular compliance, your arteries' ability to expand and contract smoothly. Let's use an analogy to really grasp this. Imagine your circulatory system is a city's water pipe network, and your body is the terrain. On land, especially with joint issues, it's like trying to run that pipe system over a rugged, mountainous landscape. It's difficult, and there's a lot of strain. Getting into chest-deep water, however, is like magically leveling that terrain. The water's gentle, uniform pressure, known as hydrostatic pressure, acts like a full-body compression sock. It helps reduce swelling and makes it easier for your veins to push blood back up to the heart, dramatically improving circulation with less perceived effort. As a result, you get a full-body workout that strengthens your heart, improves your arteries' flexibility, and challenges your muscles, all while feeling lighter and more mobile than you do on land. How to do it? You can swim laps, use a kickboard for a more focused leg workout, or join a water aerobics class, which is a fun, social, and incredibly effective option. Aim for 20 to 30 minutes, 2 to 3 times a week. Keeping the water at about chest level provides the best cardiovascular benefit without overexertion. Key insight number 5, Tai Chi. Let's shift gears from purely physical cardio to something that deeply connects the mind and body. Tai Chi, often called meditation in motion, is a powerhouse for stroke prevention that works on systems most exercises don't even touch. The conflict in our modern lives, especially as we age and face health uncertainties, is chronic stress. We often think of stress as just a mental or emotional burden, but it has profound physical consequences. High levels of the stress hormone, cortisol, can damage the delicate lining of our blood vessels over time, making them stiff and prone to plaque buildup. It's a silent internal process that directly increases stroke risk. So how do we combat this internal storm? We can't just tell ourselves to relax. We need a practice that actively calms the nervous system. A 2022 review in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience highlighted that Tai Chi is remarkably effective at improving balance, reducing stress hormones, and even enhancing blood perfusion in the brain for older adults. To understand this, let's go back to our car analogy. Imagine your autonomic nervous system has 2 pedals, a gas pedal, the fight-or-flight sympathetic system, and a brake pedal, the rest and digest parasympathetic system. Chronic stress means our foot is constantly pressed on the gas, revving the engine, raising blood pressure, and wearing out the machinery. Tai Chi is the practice of consciously, gently, and skillfully learning to apply the brake. The slow, flowing movements, synchronized with deep, mindful breathing, shift you out of that high alert state. This allows your heart rate to slow, your blood vessels to relax, and your entire system to enter a state of healing and recovery. Therefore, Tai Chi is not just exercise, it's a form of vascular therapy. By reducing cortisol, improving your breathing efficiency, and enhancing coordination, you are lowering fall risk and directly calming the internal storm that damages your arteries. As the great Joseph Pilates said, "You are as young as your spine is flexible." Tai Chi keeps that flexibility alive in both body and mind. How to start? Look for a beginner's class in your community. Many senior centers offer them for free. Practice for just 10 to 15 minutes a day, focusing on the quality of movement and the connection to your breath. Crucial secret number 4, gentle yoga. Continuing with the mind-body connection, let's explore yoga. Many people dismiss yoga as just stretching, but when practiced correctly, it is a sophisticated tool for improving your vascular health and calming your nervous system. The problem yoga directly addresses is the chronic tension we hold in our bodies. This isn't just about tight shoulder muscles. This physical tension is a manifestation of an overactive sympathetic nervous system, that gas pedal we talked about. This state of constant low-grade alertness contributes to inflammation and high blood pressure, both major drivers of arterial damage that can lead to a stroke. But how can stretching possibly affect our blood pressure? Dr. Satbir Singh Khalsa of Harvard Medical School notes that yoga excels at improving the balance of our autonomic nervous system. The combination of physical postures, controlled breathing, and mindfulness boosts parasympathetic activity. It gently presses the brake pedal, calming the heart and reducing the factors that can lead to clot formation. Let's use a simple metaphor. Think of your body as a musical instrument, like a guitar. If the strings, your muscles and nerves, are wound too tight, the instrument is constantly under strain and can't produce a pleasant sound. It's jarring and dissonant. Gentle yoga is the process of tuning that instrument. Each pose, each breath, carefully loosens the strings to the perfect tension. This not only makes the instrument feel better, but it allows it to function harmoniously. By improving flexibility and muscle tone, you improve your posture, which in turn improves your breathing, calming your entire system. Therefore, a consistent gentle yoga practice is like daily preventative maintenance for your nervous system and, by extension, your blood vessels. Now, as some yoga poses can be more strenuous, it's vital to listen to your body. Choose gentle or chair yoga classes specifically designed for beginners or older adults. And it's wise to discuss any new routine with your doctor. One crucial safety note: if you have uncontrolled high blood pressure or glaucoma, you should avoid extreme inversions where your head is below your heart. How to do it? Practice for 15 to 20 minutes, 3 to 4 days a week. Focus on foundational poses like cat-cow, a gentle seated twist, and the incredibly restorative legs up the wall pose. Crucial secret number 3, light interval training. The phrase interval training can be intimidating. It brings to mind images of elite athletes sprinting until they collapse. But we need to reclaim this concept for real life because its benefits for our cardiovascular system are too good to ignore. The conflict is that steady, slow-paced exercise is good, but it doesn't fully prepare your heart and blood vessels for the variable demands of everyday life. Think about it. You walk at a slow pace, then you have to hurry across a street. You're sitting calmly. Then you have to carry a heavy load of groceries up a flight of stairs. Your vascular system needs to be able to respond to these changes quickly and efficiently. The tension comes from thinking we have to choose between easy exercise and killer exercise. But there is a powerful middle ground. A 2020 study in hypertension research found that even short bursts of moderate effort can reduce systolic blood pressure by 8 to 10 millimeters of mercury in older adults. This is light interval training. Here's an analogy to make it clear. Imagine you only ever drove your car at a steady 30 miles per hour. The engine would be fine at that one speed, but the first time you needed to accelerate to merge onto a highway, it would struggle. It wouldn't be responsive. Light interval training is like practicing gentle accelerations and decelerations in a safe environment. It trains your blood vessels to dilate and constrict smoothly and efficiently. It improves your heart rate variability, which is a key predictor of cardiovascular resilience. It makes your whole system more adaptive, responsive, and robust, ready for whatever life throws at it. As a result, you are building a smarter cardiovascular system, not just a stronger one. This is a crucial secret for preventing the kind of vascular events that can lead to a stroke. How to do it? This is beautifully simple. While you're on your daily walk, just alternate your pace. Walk at an easy pace for 2 minutes, then pick up the pace to a brisk walk for 1 minute. Repeat this cycle for 15 minutes. Or while you're marching in place at home, just add 20 seconds of faster steps every couple of minutes. A great tip is to do this with music that has a changing tempo. It naturally cues you to adjust your pace without even thinking about it. Game-changing revelation number 2, balance drills. We've worked on our heart, our circulation, and our nervous system. Now we're going to focus on something that directly protects and stimulates the brain itself, balance training. This might be the most misunderstood exercise of all. We think balance training is just about preventing falls. And while that is a huge benefit, as falls can sometimes trigger strokes in frail individuals, the true power of this practice goes much, much deeper. The hook is this: improving your balance directly enhances blood flow within specific critical areas of your brain. The problem is that as we age, the intricate communication network between our brain, our inner ears, and the nerves in our feet and legs can start to weaken. We rely on this network for every single step we take. When it weakens, we not only become less stable, but that part of our brain becomes less active. And here's where the tension lies. Just like a muscle, parts of the brain that aren't actively used and stimulated receive less blood flow. The cerebellum, located at the back of the brain, is the master coordinator of movement and balance. It is packed with a dense network of blood vessels. When you challenge your balance, you are forcing your cerebellum to fire on all cylinders, which in turn pulls more oxygen-rich blood into that vital area. Think of it this way. Imagine your brain is a major city, and the cerebellum is the central traffic control hub. If there are no traffic challenges, no detours, no rush hour, the hub operates on a skeleton crew. But when you practice balance drills, it's like creating a complex citywide traffic puzzle. The central hub has to light up, activating all its resources, calling in extra power, blood flow, to manage the intricate coordination required. A 2022 review in Geriatrics and Gerontology International showed balance training reduced fall risk by a staggering 39% in older adults. But the indirect benefit of stimulating this crucial brain region is just as important for our long-term neurological health. Therefore, every second you spend practicing your balance, you are not just strengthening your ankles, you are actively nourishing and protecting your brain's coordination center. How to do it? Start simply and safely. Stand behind a sturdy chair or kitchen counter, holding on for support. Lift one foot off the floor and hold for 10 to 15 seconds. Then switch sides. As you feel more confident, try doing it with just one hand, then just your fingertips, and eventually without holding on at all. To increase the challenge, try heel-to-toe walking as if you were walking on a tightrope. The vital truth number 1, deep diaphragmatic breathing. We have arrived at our final and perhaps most profound revelation. It is an exercise you can do anytime, anywhere. It requires no equipment and no special training. And it is so effective, its core mechanism has been shown to improve blood vessel function in a remarkably short time. We are talking about the intentional act of deep breathing. Yes, breathing. The number one thing we overlook. The conflict is that most of us, especially when we are stressed, are shallow breathers. We use only the top third of our lungs, taking small, rapid breaths from our chest. This type of breathing keeps our body in that state of high alert, the fight or flight mode, which constricts blood vessels and raises blood pressure. But the secret lies in tapping into our body's most powerful, built-in relaxation tool, the diaphragm. Pulmonologist Dr. Bela Vranic explains that deep diaphragmatic breathing does 3 incredible things. It increases oxygen saturation in the blood, it lowers the heart rate, and it triggers profound vascular relaxation. How? When you breathe deeply, engaging your diaphragm, you stimulate the vagus nerve, which is the superhighway of your parasympathetic, calming nervous system. This stimulation promotes the release of nitric oxide, the same magic molecule from our brisk walking discussion, which is a natural vasodilator. It tells the smooth muscles in your artery walls to relax, allowing the vessels to widen. Here is our final and most important analogy. Imagine your blood vessels are a series of tense, narrow pipes. Shallow, stressed breathing is like trying to force water through them at high pressure. It creates strain and wear. Deep, diaphragmatic breathing, however, is like flipping a switch that instantly widens all of those pipes. The pressure drops, The flow becomes smooth and effortless, and circulation to every part of your body, especially your brain, is enhanced. This is why it is so powerful. You are actively, consciously lowering your own blood pressure and bathing your brain in oxygen with every single intentional breath. Therefore, this isn't just about relaxation. It is a direct physiological intervention to protect your vascular system. How to do it? Sit or lie down comfortably. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your belly. Inhale slowly and deeply through your nose for a count of 4, focusing on making your belly rise. Your chest should move very little. Then exhale slowly through pursed lips for a count of 6, feeling your belly fall. Practice this for just 5 minutes a day. And now, for that special bonus I promised. It's called the head tilt pump technique. It's used in physical therapy to encourage blood flow through the vertebral arteries, which supply the brain stem. Sit tall and relaxed. Slowly tilt your head to the right, as if trying to touch your ear to your shoulder. Hold for 2 seconds. Return to the center. Repeat to the left. Do 10 gentle repetitions on each side, once a day. This simple, targeted movement helps ensure that critical area of your brain is receiving the circulation it needs. And there you have it. 10 powerful strategies, from gentle marches all the way to the profound brain-protecting power of a single deep breath. We started with building a foundation of circulation, added layers of strength and resilience, and finished with the secrets that directly nourish and protect the brain. Each one of these is a tool in your toolbox for a long, healthy, and vibrant life. You don't need to do them all every day. Remember Martha from our story? She started small. Pick 3 or 4 that you enjoy and rotate them throughout the week. As Dr. Kenneth Cooper, the father of aerobics, famously said, "We don't stop exercising because we grow old. We grow old because we stop exercising." Which of these insights? Perhaps it was the joint-saving power of water aerobics, or the brain-boosting surprise of balance drills, or even our final vital truth about deep breathing, resonated with you the most. Which one are you thinking of trying first? I would genuinely love to hear from you. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. It creates a wonderful community of encouragement for everyone. If you found this journey valuable, please give this video a thumbs up. It truly helps others in our community find this information. And of course, subscribe and hit that notification bell for more powerful health strategies designed specifically for us. Until next time, stay healthy, stay curious, and keep thriving.